Well, let's see. Considering that this movie has already been out for 2 weeks and this video isn't going to come out for another week, I'm just late all the way around. That's right, today I'm talking about Venom 2. Now, more specifically, I don't really want to review the movie since it's already been out for a little bit and it would feel kind of redundant if I just sat here just to review it, but instead, I just want to talk about my general thoughts on it and what the future of this franchise could be based on how this movie ended. So, we're going to start with what did I think of the movie. And I think I liked it personally. And this is coming from someone who liked the first movie. And I'm not saying it's a good interpretation of Venom, because it's not, but I still think that it's still a fun movie and something that if you just turn your brain off and just go to enjoy a film, you're probably going to like it just because it's a fun ride. My general thoughts on it are, if you like the first movie, you're going to like this one. If you didn't like the first movie, you're not going to like this one. And that's just kind of how I expected it to go. Now, the thing I said in this video a little bit back, yeah, as you can see, they're already leaning into the comedy part of it. And that's what I kind of thought going into it. That's why I was kind of scared when they announced a Venom 2. Because it's either, okay, you go down a road where it's like you actually do make it dark, and intense. Like, I think the first movie was kind of trying to be like how Venom is in the comics. It was either do that, and then the first movie just feels super weird in comparison, or lean into the comedy part, which is fine. I like comedic superhero movies. That's not the problem. The problem is it gonna be funny? Yeah, I was actually wrong about that. Turns out that I didn't have to be worried, because the movie, I think, had a very similar balance of comedy and not comedy and just kind of trying to take itself seriously, even though it's like kind of not, that the first movie did. I think it's very similar, and I think it strikes a very similar balance of comedy versus dramatic things, and I think that it works very well within the context of this universe. And I think the thing that sets this movie probably apart from the first one is the villain, Carnage. The first one had Riot as the main villain, and he was just bad all the way around from the CGI on him. I mean, the CGI wasn't bad, but the design was just kind of whatever. It was gray, so it didn't really help stand out from Venom, which I know is just a thing in the comics, but still change the color, guys, or don't have the fight take place at night, you idiots. But it just wasn't very well established what his motivation was, and it wasn't really established why the guy, like the evil CEO, was really evil. I mean, they tried to, but it was just the generic, hey, I'm a bad guy because I'm a boss kind of character. You know what I'm talking about. This movie, in Let There Be Carnage, it's way better established why the villain is a villain, because he's crazy and a serial killer, just like Cletus in and of itself, and then you get just like an insane evil symbiote that just wants to take over everything. They fit very well together. And that's why the character in the comics is so, like, such a dangerous threat, because it requires both Venom and Spider-Man to team up most of the time in order to even have a chance at defeating him, because he's that dangerous. And the one thing that I don't love about this movie is the fact that they do end up killing Cletus at the end. It's just both Cletus and Carnage, and I guess they could kind of work around the fact that Carnage might still be alive, but I don't think they're going to work Cletus back in to the equation, and I think it's just sad, because I really liked Woody Harrelson in this movie. He did a phenomenal job, and I think that, you know, he really brought to life this character, and I think that it's sad that you're not going to get to see him again, probably. I would love to see him pop up in another movie, or just continue on into the next, you know, future of this franchise, which, speaking of which, they're going to bring him into the MCU. Now, the after credit sequence is very funny, and it's funny, and it's a good cliffhanger for the next film. However, I've seen a lot of dumb things about it on, you know, Instagram or Twitter or whatnot, people saying, oh, that shot in the trailer that I was talking about in one of my old videos where, like, everyone's like, oh, this is Lizard because he's back here and whatever. No, that's Venom. I think we can very clearly see now that we know that Venom is going to be in the multiverse in the next Spider-Man movie. That is very clearly Venom. You can tell, a lot of people were like, oh, it's Lizard because if you brighten up the image or whatever, you see a tail. There's no tail. There's a left arm that goes across the screen from the right to left, kind of throwing something at Peter from the darkness. That's very clearly Venom's claw arm. It's definitely not the Lizard. Now, the Lizard may be still in the next Spider-Man movie, but this shot in particular is definitely not him. And it's just dumb that people are still saying that it is. Like, no, it's not. It's very clearly Venom. Stop being dumb. Now, while I am sad that they did kill Carnage in this movie, I don't think he would have really fit in the MCU, and I know that they're probably going to just send him back to his own universe after this crossover movie anyway. I just think it's a little bit upsetting that they killed him off to basically make sure that we're never going to see him again, because I really think he was a good character. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching this kind of shorter video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments down below if you've seen Venom Let There Be Carnage. Let me know what you thought about it. I'm scared for when Spider-Man comes out, because the theater's gonna be really busy. I work in a theater now, so that's gonna be fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!